Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first annual Fantasy Filmball Awards. I'm one of your hosts for the evening, Dyl, and I just have to say, it's an honor to be here in front of all of you. Let me count. I see one, I see two. Well, the dedicated listeners of a podcast of under 200 subscribers. We've got a great show for you tonight, celebrating some of the best films of last year. I mean, it's only been 4 months since 2022 ended, but who's counting? Let's be honest, we know who the real competitors are tonight. The real multiverse of madness. Everything Everywhere All at Once, and the 100% not emo, The Batman, lead the way with 12 nominations apiece. All 3 hours and 12 minutes of James Cameron's magnum opus to make us piss ourselves inside of an AMC multiplex while Nicole Kidman watches us and laughs. Avatar: The Way of Water scored 9 nominations, and who could forget? And who could forget the film that made us all feel like puppets, being Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which proved animation is way more than its small medium and is truly cinema, and being our only animated film to be featured in Best Picture this year, truly breaking grounds. But award shows and Pinocchio's nose have one thing in common. They tend to be pretty long, so tonight we're going to try to cut that down a little bit and speed through this show. But I got to get some roast off real quick because there were a lot of disappointments at the box office this year. I mean, some of the best films of the year didn't exactly light the world on fire. Look at Tar, The Fabelmans, The Banshees of Inisherin, and even The Northman. But hey, it's okay because Morbius was here to save the box office universe. They let the world morb them not once, but twice. Also, let's not forget about Warner Brothers. I know I have that reputation out there being a Warner shill, but they gave The Rock the keys and presented the masterpiece that is Black Adam. It may have not changed the DCEU in the way they thought, but hey, they had to completely tear that whole thing down because of how bad that movie was. And fine, we've made fun of Warner, we've made fun of Sony, it's only right that we make fun of Disney, and well, I'm just getting word in that Disney actually just muted us because if we make fun of them, they'll just eradicate our podcast from the face of the earth. But it's all fair. This is the Fantasy Filmball podcast after all. Making all these jabs. I mean, look at the Screen Actors Guild. They can get pulled from the air for such a low turnout, and the Golden Globes can get taken off the air due to controversy. But all is fair. Look at it like this. The Fantasy Filmball Podcast Award is making all these jabs. I mean, the Screen Actors Guild can get pulled from the air for such low turnout. The Golden Globes can be taken off for controversy. But guess what? A podcast is bulletproof, baby. But we have so many lovely faces in this room tonight to watch this show and potentially win the first ever Fantasy Filmball Award. As a proud member of the Babylon Hive, I am truly excited to see that the cast and crew of the wildest ride Hollywood had to offer us in 2022 decided to join. But wait, I'm looking around and of our 5 viewers, I don't see them here, and I was really hoping that their butts in the seats would give us more viewership than their movie had while in theaters. But being real, no one cares about this show that we have to say here, except, the two kids here. We love everything that we have to talk about. We have 28 categories, 46 films to recognize. So let's get into this and announce our first winner of the night. Matt, take us away with our first category.
This year, in Everything Ever All at Once, Michelle Yeoh's character was able to access different universes to learn ridiculous new skills, which sounds a lot like how Tom Cruise prepares for every new Mission Impossible movie. The first category being presented this evening is the Stunts and Choreography Award. This award is presented to the teams that coordinate and design the exceptional movement on a film, from the dancing in Naatu Naatu to fighting over a butt plug. This year's nominees range from high-flying action scenes to pain-inducing stunts and lots of intricately crafted fight scenes. These are the nominees for Best Stunts and Choreography. Avatar: The Way of Water. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Jackass Forever, RRR, and Top Gun Maverick. And the winner for Best Stunts and Choreography is RRR. Unfortunately, RRR could not be here to join us this evening, but congratulations to RRR, first of many, I hope, awards. Now for the next award. This year, Sarah Polley and Ke Huy Quan joined the ranks of former child actors who are now adult Oscar winners, alongside Jodie Foster, Natalie Portman, and Ron Howard. The following group of nominees represent some of the most promising young performers in the world. Which actors could be next to join the club alongside Quan and Polley? My money's on Baby Mateo from Bardo. That kid's got a future. These are the nominees for Best Youth Performance. Eden Dambreen, Close. Gustav de Wael, Close. Chloe East, The Fabelmans. Kate Hallett, Women Talking. And Gabriel LaBelle, The Fabelmans. And the winner is Eden Dambreen for Close.
Look at us go and present some fresh faces and new awards which would not normally get recognized on any circuit here in the awards season. Don't we love that? Fantasy Filmball breaking new grounds. With that being said, you know what time it is? Best Supporting Actor and Supporting Actress. Up first, we have 5 men who truly supported their films to new heights, ranging from antagonizing the streets of Gotham, showcasing male trauma, truly embracing your inner cannibal, portraying teenage vulnerability, and attempting to save the multiverse. 5 things I portray every weekend with a few pints of me. Shout out to our Banshees boys that sadly did not make the cut here. But here are our nominees for Best Supporting Actor. Paul Dano in The Batman, Gustav Duhaley in Close, Brian Tyree Henry in Causeway, Ke Quan in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mark Rylance for Bones and All. And who really thought this was a question? Ke Quan, he's sweeping the award season and he sweeps Fantasy Filmball as well. Well, that brings us up to Supporting Actress, and these are the secret weapons of a film. They come in and steal scenes left and right, and before you know it, they've won an award. Take Janelle Monáe in Glass Onion, for example, who showed us you don't need to have a lot of dialogue to make a powerful impact. Stephanie Sue in Everything Everywhere All at Once, I mean, she was so good, I wanted her to be on screen for every scene. You have Clara Foy in Women Talking, who showed us you can have so much power and heart in such a limited role. And don't forget about Zoe Kravitz in The Batman, who brought so much needed coolness to that film. Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once was a total scene stealer, and Lashana Lynch in The Woman King gave us all lessons on how to be a badass warrior queen. So, our nominees for Best Supporting Actress include Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once, Clara Foy in Women Talking, Stephanie Sue in Everything Everywhere All at Once, Zoe Kravitz for The Batman, Lashana Lynch for The Woman King, and Janelle Monáe for Glass Onion. And these ladies all brought their A game, and we can't wait to see who the Fantasy Filmball Award panel picks as the winner. Oh, that's us. So I guess I have to say, I want to drink a hard one of Jared Leto's hard kombuchas with Janelle Monáe, our winner for Glass Onion.
Well done, well done. Now you can probably tell these awards are being chosen by 2 people, so it's just the 2 of us. But moving on to the next category, Best Cinematography, the core element of any movie. Without light and a lens to change that light into an image, there would be no movies at all. Contrary to popular belief, actors aren't the only ones making a movie. On any film set, the dynamic between the director and the cinematographer is a lot like the opening scene of The Fabelmans, where Paul Dano is describing how a film projector works, and Michelle Williams just says that movies are dreams. Without the hard work and technical know-how of cinematographers, dreams are all that movies would ever be. These are the nominees for Best Cinematography. James Friend for All Quiet on the Western Front. Russell Carpenter for Avatar: The Way of Water. Darius Khondji for Bardo: False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths. Greg Fraser for The Batman. And Michael Dimmick for EO. And the winner is... It's a Bardo sweep. Bardo: False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths. Bardo's cinematography is just so amazing. No movie looks like this year. It is just breathtaking visuals, and the work done by the entire team on this movie is exceptional. Very well-deserved award. Now, when Michelle Williams said that movies are dreams, the work of the following artists are truly what she was talking about. With modern visual effects and a talented and usually, unfortunately, underpaid team of visual effects artists, the most impossible dreams can become reality. This is the category Best Visual Effects. And the winner is Avatar: The Way of Water. Sorry, wait, what's that? There are other nominees? Really? But we all know who's gonna win. Just a formality? Okay, fine. Here are the nominees for Best Visual Effects. Avatar: The Way of Water. The Batman. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Everything Everywhere All at Once. And Nope. And the winner is... Oh, surprise! Surprise! It's Avatar: The Way of Water. I never saw that coming.
So I have the honor of presenting our next category. It's one I would love to see it become more, popular on the award show track, and that is Best Voiceover or Mocap Performance, because these actors may not physically be on set at all times, but they are still important to the final product. After all, it's not easy to pretend to be a blue alien, a talking shell, or a drunk puppet maker. And let's be real, sometimes these actors are just wearing pajama covered dots while making weird faces in front of a green screen. So yeah, it may look silly during production, but the end result can be truly impressive. Just look at one of our nominees, Zoe Saldana's heart-stealing performance in Avatar: The Way of Water. She made us all believe that the Na'vi people and their culture, despite being a human in a motion capture suit. And let's not forget about Gordy, performed by Terry Notier from Nope. I mean, who knew a friendly monkey could be so terrifying at a children's birthday party? Like, come on, guys. Like, who could have really guessed that? But being serious, all these performances should be taken way more for real. But our nominees for this category include David Bradley for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Brendan Dalton for Avatar: The Way of Water, Terry Notier for Nope, Zoe Saldana for Avatar: The Way of Water, and Jenny Slate for Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. And our winner is David Bradley for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And Questlove, I get it now how it feels to read off a winner that you just don't love. But hey, we keep it going with this show because our next category directly relates to our last one. We have Best Animation. And animation sometimes is considered less of a form of cinema, as we mentioned earlier in the show, but it should be considered way more because it involves creating a sequence of images to simulate motion and tell a real story, just like a live-action movie. However, animation offers filmmakers the unique advantage in terms of creativity and expression. With animation, filmmakers can be and create fantastic worlds and characters that are just impossible to achieve with live-action movies. So our nominees include The Bad Guys, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and Turning Red. And to no surprise to any, the one film that made it into Best Picture, just like how the Oscars have for International Feature, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio takes this award.
Our voting process is very complicated because it's just the two of us here. So a lot of the time we might not both agree on the winner, and we still have to come up with a winner. So we have a very complicated process, only fully understood by a firm of accountants that we have on retainer doing this full time. It's pretty intense and pretty serious, obviously. You know what else is serious? Documentary features. And this year's documentary features show us that documentaries can be some of the most powerful movies around. To capture something real, showing us the important things going on in the world, educating us and opening our eyes to things that we didn't know about before. This year's documentaries showed us impactful and important moments, such as Alexei Navalny getting hard evidence that Vladimir Putin personally plotted to poison him, or Nan Goldin successfully having the Sackler family's name removed from art galleries around the world, as well, of course, as Chris Pontius's flaccid penis dressed up like Godzilla destroying a miniature city. These are the nominees for Best Documentary Feature. All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, directed by Laura Poitras. Fire of Love, directed by Sarah Dosa. Jackass Forever, directed by Jeff Tremaine. Navalny, directed by Daniel Roher. And Users, directed by Natalia Almada. And the winner is a tie! Oh my god, it's a tie between All the Beauty and the Bloodshed and Jackass Forever. Could not be two more different movies, but both very deserving.
That just really encapsulates this feel of this award show here. We can go from one moment of being super serious with All the Beauty to the next moment, as you mentioned, a Godzilla penis wreaking havoc on a miniature city.
Exactly. But on to our international feature category. We all know that every movie is 1,000 times more sophisticated when it's in another language. That's why my favorite movie of this year is the Spanish language dub of Morbius, El Morbo. As Bong Joon-ho once said, you can be opened up to a whole new world of cinema once you get past the 1-inch barrier of subtitles. This year's nominees are in a variety of languages from around the world. Telugu, German, Donkey. Here are the nominees for Best International Feature. All Quiet on the Western Front, Germany, directed by Edward Berger. Close, Belgium, directed by Lucas Dont. Decision to Leave, South Korea, directed by Park Chan-wook. EO, Poland, directed by Jerzy Skolimowski. And RRR, India, directed by S.S. Rajamouli. And the winner for Best International Feature is The Little Donkey That Could, EO.
All right, folks, let's give a round of applause to the nominees for Best International Feature Award. We just heard two very, very serious categories normally, so I think it's time to, give out some goofy awards because this next nominee is filled of them. The Best Live Action Animal, or, animals who are just being themselves while humans awkwardly try to act alongside them. And our nominees are that aforementioned little donkey, but all the donkeys in EO. They didn't have to do much to steal the show. All they had to do was be themselves, and somehow they still outacted all the humans in that movie. We also had Jenny the Donkey from the Banshees of Inisherin, really the year of the donkey, and sometimes you can be a very well-written screenplay, but the donkey is still the most lovable character among the bunch. Then we have Lucky the Horse from Nope. He was just a horse doing horse things, and yet somehow he still managed to avoid being sucked up by a giant UFO, and he made it a few times, so I think that's very commendable. We have Sammy the Dog from the Banshees of Inisherin. He barked, he followed us, he went to the local pub, and he grabbed the choppers for the fingers, so he did what every man's best friend should do in that situation. And lastly, we cheated a little bit because we have a double nominee here. We have Ruth and Cheryl from Women Talking, and didn't we all love when Sheila McCarthy told us the stories about Ruth and Cheryl? Our winner for this category is, of course, the Little Donkeys from EO, and I think, if I hear that right, the showrunners tell me that we actually do have a donkey here on set. So, can we bring out EO? Wait. That's not EO. I wonder why he can't be here. Oh, yeah, that's right. So we pulled some strings and we have an honorary Fantasy Filmball Award winner. This is the Donkey from Shrek Forever After.
All right, folks, let's give a big yeehaw for the nominees for Best Costumes. As a donkey, I know a thing or two about fashion. I mean, just look at me. I'm styling. So I'm excited to announce these nominees. First up, we have the Batman. I mean, it's just a guy in a leather suit with some pointy ears, right? I could probably pull that off myself. Just give me some duct tape on my ears, give me some black spray paint, and give me a cape. I'm rocking. Next, we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and I heard they just recycled the costumes for the first movie. That's kind of like what we did with our Shrek movies after the second one. And I can't even lie, I wish my costume dresser on Shrek Forever After dressed me as amazing, gave me as many options as they gave Elvis. I heard that he had over 200 plus outfits for one movies. Next, we have Everything Ever All at Once, and I'm sorry, they gave Joe Tapaki all those cool and flashy looks, but I can't get any. I call that speciesism. And lastly, we have the Woman King, and oh my gosh, those headdresses are magnificent. They remind me of my own mane. I mean, just look at it right here. I just can't wait until I get myself one of those. But our winner for Best Costume Design is Elvis. And I mean, just take a look at all these nominees here and these great examples.
Well done to Elvis. Austin Butler went through enough. He deserves it. He changed his voice for this. Now, great makeup and hair work can transform an actor into someone else entirely. It can make us believe that Viggo Mortensen is getting his organs removed, or that Christian Bale has a false eye, or that Tom Hanks is a terrible actor. These are the nominees for Best Hair and Makeup. All Quiet on the Western Front, Amsterdam, The Batman, Crimes of the Future, and Elvis. And the winner is, oh my god, another tie. Can you tell this show is being done by two people? You probably can. It's a tie between The Batman and Crimes of the Future. Well done to both films. Well done. Now, good production design is when the world of a film feels so real that you can just get lost in it. Every single detail is immaculately placed, immersing us deeply into what the filmmakers have created. Whether it's a World War I battlefield, the oceans of Pandora, or just a giant pile of human corpses with a Spanish colonizer sitting on top, these are the nominees for Best Production Design. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, and Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And the winner for Best Production Design is Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery.
Who doesn't love queuing up their Apple Music or Spotify for a good ride in the car? So, let me look at my most recently played songs to get us kicked off of this next category. Wait. You're telling me that these songs are actually just songs from various soundtracks from our next batch of nominees? Well, you better run out to Target or Walmart and snatch up these CDs, because just like film and the box office, CDs are not a dying medium. But our nominees for Best Musical Supervision or Soundtrack, we have Elvis, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, The Fabelmans, Moon Age Daydream, and Triangle of Sadness. And our winner for this category is the king of rock himself, Elvis, featuring all those new modern renditions of popular Elvis songs. Staying in the musical sense for our next category presents 5 amazing film scores. A film score can elevate the overall project by making mediocre scenes seem more epic than they really are. It's like putting icing on a pile of garbage and suddenly it looks way more appetizing than it would be without it. Once again, our nominees for Best Original Score include Babylon, The Batman, Bones and All, EO, and Women Talking. And our win in a very tight vote, and I'm sorry to all the Babylon Hive out there, Babylon does not take this award. In fact, it goes to Michael Giacchino for The Batman.
Very, very well done. The Batman, a very bad snub at the Oscars, but I'm so glad it got recognition here, where it really matters. Now it's time for Best Original Song, aka the award specifically limited to songs written for movies, so the actual best songs of the year rarely show up here. How many of these songs just play over the credits every single year? But I'll give us credit, only a few of these are credit songs, which is good. It's better than the Oscars normally do. Now we better get this over with before Diane Warren finds out where we live and gets revenge on us for not nominating her for applause. Because the worst thing that could happen is Diane Warren shows up and makes us listen to one of her new songs. I just can't bear more Diane Warren. Let's just... But the nominees for Best Original Song are Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick, performed by Lady Gaga. Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever, performed by Rihanna. Love Is Not Love from Bros, performed by Billy Eichner. Natu Natu from RRR, performed by Kala Bhairava and Rahul Sipligoni. And You Made It Feel Like Home from Bones and All, written and performed by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. And the winner is another tie between Natu Natu and You Made It Feel Like Home. Now the two winners have to Natu battle to decide who actually takes home the prize. And now, of course, for Christopher Nolan's least favorite award of the evening, Best Sound. I guess what I have to say about this category is, look, I don't care how good your sound is, I'm turning the subtitles on when I'm watching at home. But honestly, no great movie can have anything less than perfect sound. If your sound isn't perfect, the whole movie feels amateurish and falls apart. The artists in this category are masters at their craft, making invisible sound that we don't even notice is there. They have created immersive worlds in their sound mixing and editing, and here are the nominees for Best Sound. All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Elvis, 13 Lives, and Top Gun Maverick. And the winner for Best Sound is The Batman.
Film editing is important because without it, movies would just be a bunch of random clips thrown together like a badly organized PowerPoint presentation. And let's be honest, nobody wants to sit through that unless it's some sort of avant-garde experimental film that only, film students pretend to understand. And I'm looking at all of you out there, the Skinamarink fans, but film editing is an art of taking those individual shots and turn them into a cohesive, compelling story that keeps the audience engaged. It's kind of like playing a game of Tetris. That upcoming Apple TV film that we all begged to get. Anyway, our nominees for Best Film Editing include Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, RRR, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. And we can't be completely original here at Fantasy Filmball because we do copy the Oscars and give the award to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Writing, on the other hand, is a thing that comes easy to some and very difficult to others. But these next batch of nominees are so vivid, so descriptive, and so creative with originating stories that it feels like, hey, that's me on the screen. And we appreciate a wide range of stuff to showcase these, weird times I've had in the past year. I mean, there's that one time I was on a boat while eating seafood, listening to an old Russian guy who sells shit say, "The ship is going under," as I'm puking everywhere, to dancing at a bar mitzvah thinking I found the love of my life at the ripe age of 22. So our nominees for Best Original Screenplay include Cha-Cha Real Smooth, Close, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, and Triangle of Sadness. And our winner for this category is Everything Everywhere All at Once. As I just mentioned, we had so many creative individuals invent stories, but to be honest, to me, adapting a well-known and beloved IP seems like it would be a more difficult job. These can range from presenting the world's best detective in a brand new way, without mentioning the Ice Age, focusing on a coming-of-age love story while the two lovers happen to enjoy the common pastime of devouring people, and even the widely known and beloved child story about becoming a real boy that just so happens to take place during Italy in World War II. Our nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay include All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Bones and All, Glass Onion, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and Women Talking. And our winner for this category is Women Talking.
Well done. We love Sarah Polley here, so very good win. And now for some fun categories that are just kind of out of the blue. Our first one is the Redeemer Award, which is given to the best film that did not receive a single Oscar nomination. We figured this award would be a nice consolation prize to ease the blow of not having any noms at the Oscars, because we all know that the next best praise after being given recognition by a jury of thousands of your peers and respected colleagues is to be told that you did a good job by two mediocre white boys on the internet. These are the nominees for the Fantasy Filmball Redeemer Award. Athena, directed by Roman Gavras. Barbarian, directed by Zach Kreger. Bones and All, directed by Luca Guadagnino. Holy Spider, directed by Ali Abbasi. Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical, directed by Matthew Warchus. And Nope, directed by Jordan Peele. And the winner for the Fantasy Filmball Redeemer Award is Barbarian. The scariest movie of the year, one that I was miserable while watching in the best way possible. This next category is about some of our absolute worst takes of this year. We've said a ton of dumb shit in this channel. You can go into any video and see a horrible take or something that just didn't age well, or just anything stupid that we've said. We've said a lot of stupid things, and this next category will go down as some of the dumbest things until next year at least. This is the award for the biggest L of this award season. And the nominees are Dylan drafting Bardo first round in our game of Fantasy Filmball. What a bad call. That was Bardo first round when the Fablemans was still on the table. Ouch. Me saying that Searchlight would never prioritize the Banshees of Inisherin over Empire of Light, and saying that you guys should all take Banshees out of your predictions and putting Empire of Light in. That was a horrible call by me. Really bad take right there. Don't Worry Darling being on my initial Best Picture list for 4 months. How did that happen? I don't know. But what an L. Dylan having Naomi Ackie winning Best Actress for almost the entire year for I Want to Dance with Somebody. That didn't age too well. Do we even remember I Want to Dance with Somebody? It came out 3 months ago and it's gone already. And of course, us both putting The Sun in Best Picture and saying that Hugh Jackman might win Best Actor. I don't think you ever said him for Best Actor, but I know I sure did. So those are our nominees for the worst take. And the winner is, honestly, you guys can take your pick. All of these are our worst takes of this season, and pick your poison. Which one's the worst? Because, I think they're all pretty bad.
So in honor of holding the L, I'm going to keep an L on my forehead for this next category because, memes are dreams that we will never forget. Instead of thinking of any funny way to introduce this next award, our recipient for Best Movie Meme is just ready to morb.
Have sex, excel, put my hands against, put my best, put my 10, put my spend, have sex, excel.
A film ensemble can truly be amazing when the actors work together like a well-oiled machine. In Women Talking, the ensemble cast was so in sync that it felt like they had been working together for years. In Glass Onion, the ensemble was like a finely tuned orchestra. Each actor had their own unique role to play, but came together to create a beautiful symphony that left the audience in awe. And of course, it helps when you have talented actors like the beloved Michelle Yeoh, the fantastic Colin Farrell, or even Seth Rogen, who can bring their A game to the table. But it's all about the collaboration and chemistry between these ensembles that really make a film shine. Our nominees for Best Ensemble include The Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Glass Onion, The Fablemans, and Women Talking. And our winner for this category is Women Talking. Congratulations, because yes, Marky Mark, women are talking.
Now we're on to the last 4 awards of the show, starting off with the award for Best Leading Actor. Our category here has 6 nominees, but if you go by the logic of the TV show 2.5 Men, it's only 5, based on 2 of these performances being children. Now, our 6 nominees in this category represent some of the best acting performances of this year, showcasing incredible range. And the nominees for Best Actor in a Leading Role are Austin Butler, Elvis; Eden Dambreen, for Close; Colin Farrell, The Banshees of Inisherin; Ralph Fiennes, The Menu; Gabriel LaBelle, The Fabelmans; and Jeremy Pope, The Inspection. And the winner for Best Leading Actor is Eden Dambreen for Close, which I definitely didn't expect to see that be our winner here, but I think that this performance is incredible. And if you haven't seen Close, it is truly some of the most heartbreaking acting work of the year. And this performance truly does deserve to be honored like this. So, well done to Eden Dambreen. And on the other hand, in the actress category, this category shows some of the best work of the year, with roles that range from cannibalism to kung fu to murder to Cate Blanchett pretending that she doesn't care about award season while accepting her Critics' Choice Award. Here are the nominees for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Cate Blanchett, Tar; Danielle Deadwyler, Till; Taylor Russell, Bones and All; Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once; and Tong Wei, Decision to Leave. And the winner is another tie between Taylor Russell for Bones and All and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Well done, ladies. Your performances showed such range and just incredible talent, and I can't wait to see more from both of you.
A film director is the most important piece of the puzzle because they get to boss around a bunch of creative people and pretend like they know everything. Take James Cameron, for example. He thinks he's the king of the world just because he directed Avatar: The Way of Water. Daniel's probably had a blast telling everyone what to do on the set of Everything Everywhere All at Once, and let's not forget about Jordan Peele, who's probably still laughing about how easy it was to scare everyone with his newest nightmare, Nope. But in all seriousness, a good film director is able to bring together a team of talented individuals and guide them towards a cohesive vision for the film, like S.S. Rajamouli and RRR. They are responsible for overseeing everything from the script to the final cut, and their leadership can make or break a movie, as Sarah Polley did masterfully with Women Talking. So, while we may joke about their inflated egos, let's give them credit where credit is due. A great director can turn a good movie into a masterpiece. Our nominees for Best Director include James Cameron for Avatar: The Way of Water, Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Jordan Peele for Nope, Sarah Polley for Women Talking, and S.S. Rajamouli for RRR. And our winner for Best Director is the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. There are so many factors that can make a film worthy of a Best Picture nominee, and the criteria may vary depending on the individual and the Academy member, me, Matt, who vote on the nominees. However, some common factors that are often considered include exceptional storytelling, technical excellence, critical acclaim, cultural impact, and innovation. Ultimately, our decision to nominate a film in Best Picture is subjective, and people may look at our nominees and think they're dumb, but hey, there are our picks. Drop your picks in the comments. But ladies and gentlemen, let's not waste any more time and do our final category of the night for the 2023 Fantasy Filmball Awards. First up, we have Avatar: The Way of Water, James Cameron's long-awaited sequel that promised to be just as blue as the first, and I heard the only thing that's more impressive than the CGI is the budget. The Batman, a dark and brooding take on the Caped Crusader that explores the gritty underbelly of Gotham City, and I mean, we've never seen that before, right? Bones and All, a coming-of-age story about a girl who eats people just because sometimes a balanced diet just isn't enough to make you smile. Elvis, a biopic about the King of Rock starring Austin Butler as the man himself. I'm not saying he's too pretty for the role, but I'm pretty sure Elvis would never have cheekbones that in shape. And the next one I get to read off is EO, about a little donkey who just travels around Poland for 90 minutes and finds its way into a lot of shenanigans. And I mean, if my life was as interesting as EO's, I'd be a happy little boy.
And I'll do the second half of the lineup right here. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, one of the funniest movies of the year, a fantastic murder mystery that takes everything that Knives Out did and steps it up in, at least in our opinions. It's a fantastic movie and deserves this nomination. Then Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, one of my favorite movies of the year, a magical retelling of a classic tale that we've seen a million times before, but we've never seen it quite like this. Using dark elements, talking about life and death, fascism and political indoctrination, this movie shows that the master of monsters has so much heart, has so much depth. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And the next nominee is Everything Everywhere All at Once, a mind-bending journey through a multiverse of madness, much more mad than the actual multiverse of madness this year. This movie is a journey into positivity. It's a film that acknowledges that the world is pointless and sad and scary, and it gives us the choice to be happy within that noise. It's a beautiful movie and one that will stand the test of time. RRR. One of the most insane action movies of the year and one of my absolute favorite movies. This film is like if the Fast and Furious took speed injected directly into its heart. It is a non-stop action movie where every single fight sequence makes you think they're never going to top this. And then little do you expect, 5 minutes later, they've topped it, and then they keep topping it over and over for 3 entire hours. This movie is a goddamn miracle. Triangle of Sadness, a satire on the fashion industry that made me cackle through the entire thing every single time I've watched it. It is a beautifully made film. It has a lot to say, and it's one that is going to stick with me for a very, very long time. And finally, Women Talking. One of the most exceptional and sensitive movies of the year. A drama about a group of women talking, just as the title says. And yet this movie just about a group of people sitting in one room feels so epic and cinematic through the dialogue and the brilliant performances and the great camera work and costume design. This is a cinematic marvel that somehow isn't depressing at all. It's a beautiful movie about hope and about forging a path forward, and it is one of my favorites of the year. Those are your nominees for Best Picture. May the best film win, or at least the one with the most sequels. But for real, all of these films are winners, and whatever we choose as our best of the year doesn't take away from the achievements made by all of these other films.
Well, in true Fantasy Filmball passion, we strive to be original, but we do copy the Academy at the end of the day because our winner for Best Picture is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Academy copied us, is what I'm going to say.
That is true. You did
I've
call
been
it
calling
way
it
before
since
they
May.
said it.
I've been saying that this is going to win, and they heard me and went, yes, we will do what random boy on internet says and vote for Best Picture. I caused it.
That's how the Academy works. They see random
it out.
boy online, like, I want to do that.
Exactly. That is why we have 190 subscribers, and all of them are the most important voters in the Academy.
Well, they're the most important voters and viewers to me, and I very much appreciate anyone who made it this far into the awards show. As I mentioned before, please drop down a comment of what some of your personal takes would be throughout the show. As I mentioned, we're just two people. We may have snubbed something that you would have loved or over-nominated something that you really didn't like. But I would love to hear what some of your nominations and winners would be in some of these various categories, especially the new ones, like the ones that aren't at most award shows, like music supervision or mocap or anything like that.
Yeah, some of the most interesting things here. I mean, The Banshees of Inisherin only has one nomination, I believe. Tar only has one nomination. There's a lot of things that we did not really nominate much that a lot of people really love, and that we also really do like and love. But just to fully be transparent, how we did this awards show, we both dropped our top 10 in every single category, and then we added up the points. And the movies that kind of ended up having the most points from both of us ended up being our nominees, which is why you see such strange batches of films in all of these, because these are the films that we, for the most part, agreed on the most.
Yeah, and I think just looking around, we had 11 Best Picture nominees. So yes, Critics' Choice, we can over-nominate as well. And these nominees range from the most of 12 to the most little at 3 with Triangle at Sadness, which kind of copied its Oscar stuff. We just replaced directing with musical supervision because to me, that's one of the highlights of the movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's definitely some big snubs that I see here. Some things where just because of the way of how we voted, where I'm like, oh my god, how did we not give Dolly DeLeon a nomination? How did we not end up nominating one of the Banshees boys? How did we not end up? All of these things, they make sense for us on a personal level, but it feels a bit weird when you're looking at it in the context of the awards season. But that's what happens when you have two random dudes on the internet picking the awards. These are our awards. They're not yours. And it's just our opinion, so don't murder us for not including anything from Banshees, not even the screenplay. Don't murder us over that.
Hey, we
Please.
gave Banshees a double nomination in the category that really matters and Best Live Action Animal Performance.
That is true. I forgot about those nominations. But other than that, it's just Colin Farrell, who, yeah, that's very interesting. Another interesting thing to note is that a lot of the time, our winners are just the ones that we both were like, yeah, this is almost my favorite. So we have a few categories here where it wouldn't have been either of our votes. But rather than having a billion ties, we kind of tried to, balance it out a little bit more. But it made for some really interesting results.
It is, and I think the thing I'm happiest to say about the first annual Fantasy Filmball Awards is that Jackass Forever walks away with 2 nominations.
2 nominations and 1 win. That's pretty
Exactly.
cool.
That's more than any other award
cool.
show can say for this movie.
That's pretty cool. I mean, the Boston Society of Film Critics did give it Best Ensemble, which is really cool.
We added stunts and choreography.
We did add stunts. Stunts and choreography, of course. But those are our awards. I hope you guys enjoyed watching some of our favorite films of the year. We hope that you are inspired to maybe go check out some of the films here that you have not seen, because we assure you these are good movies. And to everything that is snubbed here, we still probably really like it, but it just didn't make it in with our weird method of voting.
I know, Babylon Hive, I'm sorry to fail you out there. We only walked away with 1 nomination, 0 wins.
I know, you're part of the Babylon Hive. I know I'm not as hot on Babylon, which is probably where that came from. This is how it goes. And, if you didn't have something ranked number 1 in a category and someone didn't have it in at all, it just doesn't happen, So it's an interesting way how this all worked out, and I had a lot of fun.
Well, once again, thank you everyone for tuning into this edition, and I cannot wait to see what we do next because we're into the new award season. This officially marks the end of season 1. We're now in season 2, 2024 Oscar nominations. We're coming at you.
We're coming at them hard, especially because it's March and Rye Lane is coming out soon. It's going to be on this list next year. I know it, and I can't wait for y'all to see that goddamn movie. It's incredible.
But until next time, my name is Dyl.
And my name is Matt, and this is Fantasy Filmball.